Hey, this is BNS about movies, and if you can't tell by the theme to the show, I love Eurospy. I think it's a genre we don't think about that much anymore. I don't know if much media was considered meta in 1965, but Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine fits the bill.
Dr. Goldfoot and his Bikini Machine. Woo! Dr. Goldfoot.
This is Vincent Price, Dr. Goldfoot, with plans to possess most of the money in the world. Frankie Avalon knows it. Dwayne Hickman finds out about it. Susan Hart is an innocent tool of the plan.
Hello, darling.
Jack Mulaney helped make the plan. And special guest star Fred Clark just doesn't believe it.
You're nuts! All right, follow me.
These lush bikini babes are produced to perform. And they have the knack of doing what they're built to do. She walks. She talks.
Come here, tiger.
She makes love.
Did you miss me, precious?
Sex has never been funnier. She isn't human. But she is gorgeous.
Mr. Armstrong, you're married to a robot.
Dr. Goldfoot is a dangerous man, but he does have his lighter moments.
All right. Sarai.
Somehow it combines everything AIP did best, Edgar Allan Poe movies, beach films, and mashes and mixes them up into one overall satisfying piece for ridiculousness. It all started when AIP president James H. Nicholson was looking for a way to show off contract player Susan Hart, who would become his wife. Went through plenty of drafts before Norman Turog, who made movies with Martin Lewis, Elvis Presley, and was the youngest director to win an Oscar when his film Skippy was honored in 1931. Damien Chazelle beat him out when La La Land won in 2017. Came on board. While most AIP movies had slender budgets, this one had $1 million to spend. That said, it also recycled plenty of their most famous props and sets, but to great effect. Originally, the film was to be a musical, but the script got rewritten to the pleasure of Vincent Price. Susan Hart would say, one of the best scenes I've seen on film was with Vincent Price singing about the Bikini Machine. It was excellent. I was told it was taken out because Sam Arkoff thought that Vincent Price looked too fey. But his character was fey. By taking that particular scene out, I believe they took out the explanation and the meat out of the picture. Honestly, there isn't much story. Vincent Price plays Dr. Goldfoot, who has an army of female robots who seduce, marry, and murder men after taking their money, of course. The femme fatales include Deanna Lund from Land of the Giants, my beloved film Elves, and nearly the wife of Larry King. China Lee, Mort Saul's wife, who had been a Playboy playmate for August 1964. She's also in What's Up, Tiger Lily. Sue Hamilton, the Playboy Playmate of the Month for April 1965, the first Playmate to be under 5 foot tall and have breast implants. Marina Gaba, Playboy Playmate of the Month for September 59. Nicholson's daughter Rory and Laura and Alberta Nelson, who often played a motorcycle girl named Puss in the IP Beach movies.
Hello, female listeners. This is the ghost of Carolyn de Fonseca. And I just want to take a break from all the male gaze and all the talk of 1950s Playboy Playmates and apologize that that's the only way Sam could explain what the worth of these women is. What a pig. And now, back to the show.
Speaking of that motorcycle gang, their leader Eric Von Zipper, Harvey Lembeck, shows up, as does Annette Funicello for the briefest of moments, and Frankie Avalon and Dwayne Hickman just switched their names from Ski Party and played the same parts. Other Beach Party cameos include one-time Gidget Deborah Wally and Aaron Kincaid. This also boasts a claymation title sequence by Gumby creator Art Clokey, a title song by the Supremes, and a reappearance of the set from The Pit and the Pendulum. There's also a scene where Goldfoot shows off his ancestors' portraits, which include Verdun Fell, who is Price from The Tomb of Ligeia, Roderick Usher from House of Usher. And the missiles that supposedly wipe him out the end were lifted from Mothra vs. Godzilla, which AIP had released as Godzilla vs. The Thing. Due to a lawsuit by EM Production, this movie was retitled Dr. G and the Bikini Machine in England. It did modest business everywhere but Italy, where it was a huge success, leading to a sequel that we'll talk about in a second. There was also a TV special that aired in the place of Shindig on November 18th, 1965 on ABC. The Wild, Weird World of Dr. Goldfoot featured Vincent Price, Tommy Kirk, and Susan Hart, along with all the songs that were cut from this film's release.
James H. Nicholson and Samuel Z. Arkoff present The Wild, Weird World of Dr. Goldfoot.
bikini machine. Dr. Goldfoot, the wildest thing that you've ever seen.
The Wild Weird World of Dr. Goldfoot.
Dr. Goldfoot,
Starring Vincent Price, Tommy Kirk, Susan Hart, Aaron Kincaid, and special guest star Harvey Lembeck.
and just like nothing, a girl would appear. I mean, right here, the cutest girl in the whole wide world, and she behaved just like a slave. Woo! Dr. Goldfoot and his bikini man.
Speaking of sequels, Dr. Goldfoot and the Girl Bombs came out a year later. It's an odd movie. This Eurospy parody is at once a sequel to two different movies that have nothing in common, Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine, and Two Mafioso Against Gold Ginger. Fulvio Lucasano, the head of Italian International Film, wanted a sequel to his film. AIP wanted a sequel to theirs, so they put their chocolate into each other's peanut butter and co-financed this movie. That disparity continues the whole way through. There are two different versions. In America, the main story is about Dr. Goldfoot battling against Fabian, of all people, yet in Italy, the film has a different title. La Spy Vengogo del Semifredo, which means the spy who came in from the cool, a parody of 1965's The Spy Who Came In from the Cold. It also concentrates more on the antics of Franco Franchi and Ciccio Ingrassia. Together they appeared in 116 movies, usually as the main characters, and are the most famous Italian comedy team of all time. Despite being blown up real good at the end of the last movie, Dr. Goldfoot is now working with the Chinese, making exploiting female robots, and Mike Myers owes this movie money.
Oh, behave.
But he's also impersonating a NATO general. Our hero is Security Intelligence Command Agent Bill Dexter, Fabian, too busy chasing women to save the world, and one of his conquests, Rosanna, is played Laura Antonelli, Wanda from Venus and Furs. George Wang, who came to Italy by way of Shanghai to star in plenty of Italian westerns, is also here, as is former boxer Ennio Antonelli, who is also in the spy films Danger Diabolic, Matchless, and Agent 3S3, Massacre in the Sun. Amazingly, this movie is directed by Mario Bava. He had no interest in this film, but he had a contract with Lucasano. The script changed 9 times. People argued who the right woman was for each shot, and even Price would say, "This is the most dreadful movie I've ever been in, just about everything that Co-Wrong did." That's right, the only time that Mario Bava worked with Vincent Price, and we ended up with a Italian comedy about Goldfinger, and it's not good. What can you do? Anyway, thanks for listening to BNS About Movies. You can come to the site, bnsaboutmovies.com. You can send me an email at bnsaboutmovies@gmail.com, and thanks for listening.